The premiere episode of Resident Evil Revelations 2 is an inconsistent experience that's plagued by glaring issues. But despite its missteps, it commands your attention. You will roll your eyes at poorly written dialogue.
Well, that blows.
But there's also moments of pure tension that raise your pulse, and the mysteries keep piling up until the very end.
Oh, God.
Sometimes it's a moment of gunplay that feels just right, and at others, haunting scenes strike a chord with your innermost fears. That's not to say its rough patches won't stick with you, but Episode 1 gets significantly better as it progresses. Though Revelations 2 starts with a whimper, it doesn't waste any time getting you into the game. Right when they are starting to enjoy a swanky company party, Resident Evil Hall of Famer Claire Redfield and her co-worker, young Moira Burton, are violently kidnapped and shipped off to a demented penal colony on a remote island. The pair fight to escape their prison, fending off deranged mutants known as the Afflicted, as they're taunted by a mysterious overseer.
Become what you fear.
What?
Moira's father, the ever-memorable Barry Burton from the original Resident Evil, attempts to come to their rescue. With the help of a young companion, he searches the same prison, but the enemies he faces are quite different, acting more like classic zombies as they shuffle along, rather than the speedy juggernauts that hunt Claire and Moira. This setup affords you 2 points of view within the same nightmare, and different gameplay experiences, but not all things are created equal. Barry's act is far stronger than Claire's, not only because it offers the best moments of tension, but because it does a better job of using the game's buddy system. Both Barry and Claire have young partners by their side, pairing firepower with special abilities. You can switch between one or the other on the fly, and sometimes you need to in order to solve simple environmental puzzles. Unfortunately, the game hands you solutions in the form of simple tasks, making these moments feel like chores rather than puzzle-solving opportunities. Moira is asked to point a flashlight around a room to find a key, for example, testing your patience rather than your intellect. If anything, these quandaries feel like justifications for even having a sidekick. Unfortunately, there are also bigger problems afoot, namely Moira. She spouts vulgarity after vulgarity. It's not hard to take in because it's offensive. It's obvious that she's meant to sound young and brash. However, Moira comes off as an exaggerated caricature rather than a realistic portrayal of an immature teenager. Outside of a few important plot points, the only helpful thing Moira brings to the table is a flashlight.
Guess I'm on light duty.
By the time you meet Natalia, Barry's mysterious companion, her subtle personality comes across as a breath of fresh air. Natalia is soft-spoken and quietly confident. She's far more useful than Moira too, able to sneak by enemies undetected and crawl into tight spaces. If Barry is low on health, Natalia is a solid backup, trading head-on action for simple but effective stealth. She presents an interesting contrast because though she has the potential to be very effective, she's far more vulnerable than her caretaker.
Stay back, Natalia.
You can tackle the campaign via local co-op with a friend, but second players have to come to terms with the fact that they're playing second fiddle. Teaming up is an effective means of getting through the campaign quickly because you aren't relying on AI to watch your back, and you have the ability to multitask. But the split-screen view and real-world chatter can dilute the tension. If you're looking to get scared, playing solo is the only way to go. If you find your trigger finger itching after beating the first episode, you can hop into raid mode. This arcade-like experience pits you against small armies of enemies in various environments, and you're encouraged to take advantage of your firepower. The more enemies you kill, the better rewards you receive, often in the form of additional weapons. It's a very different experience to the main game, especially with its initially jarring techno soundtrack, but it's a fun diversion that gives you plenty to do once the rather short campaign comes to an end. Though you have to wade through mediocre puzzles and endure cringeworthy dialogue and references to past games,
That was almost a Claire sandwich.
Episode 1 of Resident Evil Revelations 2 successfully entices you to look forward to the next episode. Maybe the fact that it's so short means you don't have time to grow tired of its antics, but perhaps it commands your attention because it periodically redeems itself before sealing the deal with an impactful cliffhanger. With tastes of both classic and modern Resident Evil, Revelations 2 seems to have something for everyone, but it would be better served if it was a little more focused and had a little less Moira.
Moira, are you okay? Did they hurt you?
Claire! Oh, I remember. Hey, take it easy. I mean, what in a moist
talking.
barrel of fuck is... Oh, Claire! I just want to go home!
It's okay. We're gonna get out of here.